Reparations isn't a remedy for racism. Reparations is a debt that's owed from slavery. Reparations is more than a check. But the very first thing it is a check. And that goes to the living descendant survivors of slavery here in what we now call the United States of America. So stop playing with our money and get us our money. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. Yeah, who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm gonna land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote.
But did you know that Africa is a place where the body of the first man was found? My daddy says that makes it a place where all people originated from. I'm from Africa, you from Africa, you African booty scratcher.
I'm always reaching. We make niggas disappear like that triangle out Bermuda. They can't find his body, but they know that I'm the shooter. I say cut my sentence in half, and I spread a little rumor. Deal? Well, you can look in Oklahoma if you want to find them sooner.
What it do, what it do, what it do. What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your host, We Know the Most. Back for another classic in the book of the SGI Talks. And again, we back with part 2 for Did White People Create Rap Music? Did white people create rap music? Make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know I'm glad that you showed up. To comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again. Now today we gonna kind of start off. We ended it, but I started off with my slides from my debate, my little notes. We looked into the deep history. Then we looked into the history of the minstrel and how the minstrel came to America and how the minstrel blew up in America and how that style trickled into today's popular culture, which is popular culture. And we have went into some of the old school songs. We got to listen to a couple of songs, old school songs, as far as some hookah blues, and did some comparison with some X-rated, some gangster rap. And we also looked at some old videos, some old DVDs. I ain't gonna say DVDs, but some old documentaries of how they say that hip hop started up in New York in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Some 1980 documentaries, kind of, trying to get the story. When it first came out, some of the first hip hop. The documentary style type of interviewing about the hip hop. So we're gonna start off again today with that, but we're gonna go into the Georgia Sea Islands. And what I mean by going into the Georgia Sea Island is that we're gonna go into the foundations of the Black American music. We're gonna go into the foundation of the Black American music, as far as before it went mainstream or before it became blues, jazz. some of the foundations that they say is in America that's going back to the South. We're gonna do part 3, part 4, part 5, 6, and all the way to whatever part we need to go to, you know what I'm saying, to get the game out there. But it's all on the history, and it's all on the foundation of the Black American sound, and trying to see, you know, where we really got our style from. Are we the originators, old originators, going back hundreds, thousands of years of this style, or are we imitating a style? We finna get some more games, which we're gonna go back into some old documentaries, 1970s, 1960s, 1930s, 1920s, 40s. You know, just going back during that time and getting some of the style of the music, where it come from, kind of a rundown on the history of the Georgia Sea Islands, which is in the Southeast America in Georgia. And that's one of the first that's one of the first places in America, as far as on the East Coast, where a lot of blacks was at. And we can get some history on the foundation of their sound, the foundation of verse and choruses of Negro folk songs. We're gonna jump into the Negro folk songs. We're gonna jump into some work songs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna listen to some penitentiary recordings going back to the 20s, going back to the 30s. You know, some of those recordings, so we can try to see where did the style come from. You know, this style that ended up leading up into what we call today rap. But it all got an origin, because we black on black. The rap style that we say is a black style. That's what we say. You know, that's what we say. And as far as within America, it got to have a foundation, and that's what we're trying to find on this series of Dead White People Create Rap Music. So once again, make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know, I'm glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend, and do it again.
It can be scary to pursue your dream, but it's also exciting. I built a Wix website in one.
Now this right here is Grandmaster Caz, and he's speaking on Coca Rock in hip hop's first MC. Shout out to Vlad TV. We're finna get some of that game. Like I say, make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know, I'm glad that you showed up. Comment, like, subscribe, and tell a friend, and do it again and do it again. And then we're going to jump into the Georgia Sea Islands, but this is just a preview of what we was listening to on part 1. Going into part 2. Cut!
You were there when hip hop started. You were part of the first team when hip hop was formed. You remember, you know, what it was like living in the South Bronx in New York before there was hip hop.
Oh yeah, I mean, from a kid growing up until the age of 13, there was no hip hop, but I always had music in my house. Yeah. You know what I mean? We grew up listening to the music that our parents played around the house.
James Brown,
the Motown sound, Michael Jackson, all that, Jackson 5. But back in those days, there were no different radio stations for different kinds of music.
So once again, we hearing that they listening to James Brown as an influence. We're gonna get some more game.
All the music was played on one radio station. Okay. So 77 WABC every morning. That's what I got up listening to. So not only did I hear the Motown and the R&B and the soul and funk. I also heard the Barry Manilow's, the Seals and Crofts, the Three Dog Night, Chicago, America, all that. You know what I mean? So I'm just as influenced by that music as I am by the soul and R&B. So by the time hip hop came along, it was just about fusing those influences together.
Right. I mean, and originally there were no hip hop beats. It was just.
So we're gonna bring that back. We're gonna bring that back because they are imitating the style and they is remixing and putting it together.
Manilow's, the Seals and Crofts, the Three Dog Night, Chicago, America, all that. You know what I mean? So I'm just as influenced by that music as I am by the soul and R&B. So by the time hip hop came along, it was just about fusing those influences together.
Right. I mean, and originally there were no hip hop beats.
So it was about fusion, soul, and hold on. What's that? Rock and roll that you said? I didn't go back far enough.
77 WABC every morning. That's what I got up listening to. So not only did I hear the Motown and the R&B and the soul and funk, I also heard the Barry Manilow's, the Seals and Crofts, the Three Dog Night, Chicago, America, all that. You know what I mean? So I'm just as influenced by that music as I am by the soul and all.
So it's soul, rock and roll. So it's white people music and black people music. As far as what he's saying became hip hop. And I guess that's why the Spanish people and other people feel so involved within the New York, saying that they was, part of that in the beginning, that they was the founders of certain things. As far as some of the break dancers, some of the founders is so-called not FBAs of America.
R&B. So by the time hip hop came along, it was just about fusing those influences together.
Right. I mean, and originally there were no hip hop beats. It was just basically, funk records.
Hip hop beats came from the get down part of a record.
Yeah.
All right. We call them the break now.
The breaks.
But back then it was the get down part, and that was the real funky part of the song. Usually the drum break. And that's what we came up on. So I mean, when we started trying to make our own music, we made it from music we were familiar with, but we just took the part of it that really was the meat of the music, and that was the breaks or the get down part.
Originally, from what I understand, when the DJ was playing the breaks, certain kids started dancing, and it was known as break boys, and then shortened to B-boys. Is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what happened is that those get down parts, sometimes they didn't come at the beginning of the song. So you would let the song play and everybody would just mill around and stuff. And then when the get down part get ready to come, that's when the dancers come to the forefront and to the middle. And that's when they get down and do their thing. So they were dancing to those particular sections of those songs, what we refer to now as breaks. Yeah. So they became the break boys or the B-boys. They dance off the breaks.
So when did you actually meet Kool Herc?
When I met him personally.
Or
when was I aware of him? I was aware of him back in '73. I lived up the street from Kool Herc.
Okay.
The next block up the hill from Sedgwick Avenue is Phelan Place, and that's the street that I lived on. So I was too young to go to parties when Kool Herc first started throwing parties, but I lived up the block. So all the older kids from the block always was going down to Sedgwick Avenue, the Kool Herc parties. Kool Herc used to play basketball in Roberto Clemente State Park down the street on Sedgwick. So we all saw him and knew, who we were. I mean, the shorties, but I didn't get exposed to an actual party till he started playing music outdoors, like outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like who were the rappers before you?
Were no rappers before.
There were no rappers before you.
Nah.
Were you the first?
If you want to consider like DJ Hollywood a rapper.
So there were no, traditional rappers before you. There was just DJs that would get on the mic.
Exactly. If I had to say there was a rapper, the first rapper would probably be Coke LaRock, who used to get on the mic for Herc when Herc was playing it. Coke didn't rap traditionally as we know it. Coke spoke over the music. You know what I mean?
Give an example of some of Coke's
Coke
lines.
had like a cool, he would do the shout outs and stuff, you know what I mean, to the people.
Once again, speaking over the music, the rapper, the MC, and the rhythmic type of style But it's always a foundation. He said, well, he wasn't busting the rhymes like us, but they consider him as the first MC, the first rapper, even though he wasn't kicking rhymes like them, but he was the first one to do that. And that's what they're trying to say. But I'm saying they go back to the minstrel, and I'll prove that on part 1.
In the crowd, the people that were associated with Herc, the B-boys, or the people that, was down. So it's like, you know what I mean? Yes, indeed, y'all, you rock with the rockers, you jam with the jammers, and boogie with the boogiers. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. No real like rhyme, like we know them, but like the tradition of the Hustlers Convention. Okay, that kind of dialogue went on. It was more like that old school pimp talk, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
If you had to say somebody was first MC, I would say Coke.
Once again, proving my point again on how the pimp was the influence of the rapping. Being slick, a slick talker. I'll show you the foundation of the pimp entertainment within America through the minstrel. Let me bring that back.
Dialogue went on. It was we know them, but like the tradition of the Hustlers Convention. Okay, that kind of dialogue went on. It was more like that old school pimp talk, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
If you had to say somebody was first MC, I would say Coke LaRock, because he would be on the mic when Kool Herc was playing.
Okay, so if you had nobody to really base yourself on, how did you really come up with rapping?
We based ourselves on what came before us. Like I said, DJ Hollywood kind of laid out a blueprint for, complementing the music with the microphone. And then we just started embellishing on that. You know what I mean? Kool Herc or Coke LaRock would have a little saying, you know what I mean? And then we would just copy it and embellish it or change it, you know what I mean, to fit our particular format. Other people start doing it, and the more it happened, you know what I mean, the more it grew. You know what I mean? You would hear some.
So once again, proving my point again, that it's copy and paste, that they was imitating somebody, but they just put their little style on it within the tech sound. And now we got a new genre, rebrand or repackage or relabel of the minstrel. But don't nobody know that it's minstrel because it's a new, they done rigged the game. I ain't gonna say they done rigged the game, but they done set up the game to where, okay, it's a new package. You ain't really seen the old package. Them people done died off, even though they not saying the same words, but they got the same type of get down. But we got new characters on the board and their kids.
Somebody say something, and then you're not supposed to bite or copy, so you flip it, you know what I mean, and make it your own or whatever like that. And that's how kind of rap kind of grew.
So shout out to Grandmaster Cass that proved my point on how they was imitating as far as the people before them, through like the dialogue, through pimp talk, that underground, risky blues, hokum blues, talking blues, and we know where that comes from, the minstrel. Now we first to get down. Now we first to go back. We first to go back, and this next video is from 1966. It was shot 1966. It was shot 1966. And they're in Newport, Rhode Island. And I just want to show this for the simple fact that when I brought up the point of whenever they took our instruments from us to where they, where we couldn't have the drums, we couldn't gather, we couldn't dance. There were certain laws put in within the United States, and they end up giving us the fiddle, and we end up getting their instruments. So I wanted to show this. This is black and white 1966 of us playing their instruments because they got a foundation. And this is before rap, hip hop. This is 1966, even though blues is going on during the time, and a lot of things is going on during the time. Um, but we can still get an original sound, almost an original sound of what was taught to them by their people, or what they or what they was imitating. Now, can we say, is it African? Can we say it's just Black American? Can we say that it's Europe, Western Europe? And the reason that I'm saying it's Western Europe because these are Western Europe instruments, and they're also uh, the tunes of the Western European music.
In case the head of this is misslated, I'm not sure. This is camera 2, roll 36.
So that's one of them original sounds of once like I say, once they took the drums and they took our instruments from us, from Black people within America that was enslaved, or that was that was enslaved. Once they took all our instruments and they gave us their instruments, this is the sound that was produced, because just like I say, they was already watching the people that was playing these instruments. They was watching the people that was playing these instruments end up learning these songs and ended up being the masters of these songs. As far as playing them, kind of coming up with their own tune with them, kind of spinning off of it, remixing it, you know what I'm saying? But it's still an original sound of Western European. Now this is 1966. I just wanted to bring this up because I had talked about the fiddle, and this is a demonstration of him playing the fiddle, singing, and also with another European instrument. His partner got over there and he playing it. And they making good music, they making good sound. It sound real good. But I don't think that this is black people music, even though this is black people that's doing the music and they creating the sound. But I'm saying that the sound it's it has the foundation already. So what I'm just trying to just point out is that we picked up this style through Western Europeans because our style was taken from us. And that's why I push reparations and I want to push psychological help for all black people in America because our culture is gone from black people that was brought over here from Africa to the black people that was already within the Americans that got enslaved. But with more of the little stuff that I've been coming up with and been seeing through this music stuff and through dance culture and through stuff like that, I have been leaning towards that all niggas do come from Africa or the niggas that's over here in America is from Africa. But we're gonna get into more of that. We're gonna get into more of that part down the line. But I gotta keep it real through the entertainment. But I still will be putting out that Black Indian stuff to try to still find that core foundation. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about the history and all about keeping it real. Now we're gonna go to the next one. Now, but this was in Rhode Island. So that was in Newport, Rhode Island. Now we're going down to Georgia, which where we're gonna be at for most of part 2. And I wanted to bring this song, Bill Tatnall, Looking for the Bully of the Town, 1935. And the reason that I want to play this song before I kind of get into the documentary type style of the situation is because it goes back to the bully. So when I showed that, okay, so the bully in 1895, when that song got introduced, that was the introduction of the gangster, the violent black character within entertainment, within the popular culture, within the entertainment realm within America. So how I brought the bully song and how I brought out the coon that had the razor. Now we got black people, just like I say, now we got black people writing these type of songs with these same type of titles because, you know, these just the hot words. These are the, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like kind of like how we be using certain type of words now. Goon, trapper, you know what I'm saying? Street nigga. So we use certain type of terms to express the music, which we got the same thing in 1935. We talking about the bully, but just like I say, the foundation of the bully go back to the song "The Bully," which was created by a white woman called May Irwin, that was created in 1895. So we're gonna listen to this song right here. 1935. Bad, I'm tripping.
I'm the time gone money. I'm the time gone back. Can't keep the winnings out there. So get down. I'm looking for a bully out in town. I'm looking for a bully can't be found. I'm looking for a bully out in town. Some people say, preacher don't see. I saw a couple in my computer, looking for it, way I got money, I'm Sam got money too. Stand by you, Bobby, and you that I'm looking for it, put it on the down. Looking for it, put it on, put it in town. Looking for it, put it on in town. Some people say a banker don't you, but I go run in my computer. Looking for it, put it on down. Looking for it, put it in, and put it in town. Looking for it, put it on down. Railroad city, big selling man. Railroad man and market sign. Looking for it, put it on. Railroad leave us a dead bus man. Shot man, I'm not the man, and I'm looking for it, put it on down. Some people say that the preacher don't see. I got a couple in my computer, Lord, I'm looking for it, put it on down. Some people say sisters don't steal. I got a couple in my computer, Lord, looking for it, put it on down. One had a sack, other had a hoe. If that ain't real, I don't know. I'm looking for it, put it on down. Well, I'm looking for it, put it in it mouth. Looking for it, put it on down. But if I find him, I'm gonna lay his body down. Lord, I'm looking for it, put it on down. Sam got money, I'm Sam got down. But he can't keep the women out the road. You can't buy them, looking for it, put it on down.
Now I want to bring that back. 1935. We can hear the energy. We can hear the passion. We can hear the song. Now I want to put the lyrics. Now we see the person. We see the person, Bill Tattle. Tatnall, my bad. Bill Tatnall. So we see the person, and I just want to see if I can get the lyrics for us. Let's see if I can get the lyrics for us real quick. And I don't think that we got the lyrics. Of the Bill Tatnall. So this is a rare classic. Ain't no lyrics. 1935. So they had to go get this. That's what I'm saying. This was the real underground. This was some of that this was some of that Swisher House back then. You know what I'm saying? This was that chop and screw. I ain't gonna say it's chop and screw, but it's an underground type scene to where if you ain't there, if you ain't around, you really ain't gonna hear. And this song probably right here wasn't probably sung on no radio or nothing like that. But he probably sung this song a lot in this area, and it was a good song for the people in their area. which is, kind of like local rappers and stuff like that, uh, which we can see within America, uh, in certain cities and stuff like that. Memphis is one, Atlanta, Oakland. These is areas where it's a lot of black people, and they support Houston, New York. They support Florida areas. They support their local artists. And then, sometimes it be some people that we never really heard of as far as if we ain't from that state. But it still be good music. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's it's an underground scene now. Just like it was an underground scene back then. And and we just listening to the sound, and it's good sound. But just like I say, is this the original sound of the black man in America, or coming from Africa?
Sam got money. Sam got Sam. Can't keep the women out there. So I'm looking for a fully out of town. I'm looking for it, fully can't be found. I'm looking for it, fully out of town. Some people say, preacher don't see. I got a couple in my computer, looking for it, fully out of town. I got money, Uncle Sam got money too. Stand by you, Bobby, and you that I'm looking for it, fully out of town. Looking for it, fully can't be found. Looking for it, fully out of town. Some people say a banker don't see, but I don't want in my computer. Looking for it, fully out of town. Looking for it, fully can't be found. Looking for it, fully out of town. Railroad city, big selling man. Railroad man and market sign. Looking for it, fully out of town. Railroad leavers a dead first man. Shot and I'm not the man. I'm looking for it, fully out of town. Some people say that the preacher don't see. I got a couple in my coffee. Lord, I'm looking for it, fully out of town. Some people say sisters don't steal. I got a couple in my coffee. Lord, looking for it, fully out of town. One had a sack, other had a hoe. If that ain't really I don't know. I'm looking for it, fully out of town. But I'm looking for it, fully can't be found. Looking for it, fully out of town. But if I find him, I'm gonna lay his body down. Lord, I'm looking for it, fully out of town. Sam got money, Uncle Sam got Sam. But he can't keep the women out the road. You can't find them looking for it, fully out of town.
And that's coming up out of Frederica, Georgia, June 1935. That was in the summertime. June 1935 in Frederica, Georgia, by Bill Tatnall. He did the vocal and the guitar, and his friends performed "Looking for the Bully of the Town." And it's like I say, I wanted to bring that into it because it's like I say on part one, I had show you where the foundation of the bully, that aggressive type of music, the black man being aggressive. within the music. Before it was just dancing or just the regular type funny type stuff or just some white people type stuff. But when we became the characters and it wasn't funny, it wasn't a non when it wasn't a non-threat of a type character, and he kind of turned up. It's like I say, that's the influence of the next generations on making songs like that. To where now we got drill rap going on. To where we got drill rap going on. So now what we first to get into next is we going down to the Georgia Sea coast. The Georgia Sea Islands, my bad. To be more precise, St. Simon's Island, where we're going to see Betsy Jones, John Davis, Peter Davis, Willis Proctor, Maybelle Hallery, Emma Lee Ramsey, Joe Dixon, Joe Armstrong, and others unidentified. And this is shot in 1962. This is going to be shot in 1962. So just like I say, man, this is going to be some good game. Make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. I'm glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again.
In 1863, an English actress named Fanny Kemble walked this road. Of it, she wrote, "I returned home along the riverside and stopped to admire a line of noble live oaks beginning to be smothered with white moss, pale, trailing masses like huge, hoary ghosts. The mixture of these streams of gray-white filaments with the dark foliage is extremely beautiful. And mingled in the foliage, every shade of green from the pale, stiff spikes and fans of the dwarf palmetto to the dark canopy of the magnificent ilex. Bowers and breaks of the loveliest wildness, where one dare not tread 3 steps for fear. What a tantalization. It is like some wicked enchantment."
Cherry Bell, don't weep. Cherry Bell, don't mourn. Don't you hang your head.
I'm John Chardy, and the program Accent. We come this week to St. Simon's Island, one of a chain of low-lying, wooded, and fertile islands that fringe the coast of Georgia. They are called the Golden Isles. Here in the late 18th century, the plantation system developed grandly and rather rigidly. The slaves on these plantations had no contact with the mainland. Here, too, for there were smugglers' ports in the islands, the very last of the African slaves to arrive in America were landed. Most recently from their native roots and most isolated, these slaves were closest to their home tradition and least subject to contacts that would tend to dilute it. After the Civil War, moreover, the slaves now liberated were given considerable tracts of land on the island. Already isolated by sea, they developed their communities in the further isolation of the deep swamps and marshes. Here, therefore, on these coastal islands, there survives the original African American tradition. Here today, still extant, one can find something like original American Negro folklore, most arrestingly in the dancing and singing of these islanders. With our guest today, folklorist and musicologist Alan Lomax, we will take a look at this great musical tradition and, in part at least, trace its continuity from native African roots.
I'm gonna eat at the welcome table. Oh, I'm gonna eat at the welcome table. I'm gonna eat at the welcome table. I'm gonna eat at the welcome table.
The new Polaroid automatic camera for finished pictures in 10 seconds.
Everybody. 325. Everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
You're watching the world-renowned composer Igor Stravinsky rehearsing the first work he's ever composed especially for television, Noah and the Flood. One of the most eagerly awaited events of the season, Noah and the Flood retells the biblical classic in a brilliant blend of music, dance, song, and narrative.
Now, what I would suggest, you don't have to stay and wait there.
Here, the center of attention is George Balanchine rehearsing members of the New York City Ballet in the choreography he has created for this dance drama. An eloquent interpretation of a timeless epic, Noah and the Flood, with Lawrence Harvey narrating, Sebastian Cabot and Elsa Lanchester giving voice to Noah and his wife in a Golden Showcase special Thursday, June 14th, over most of these stations.
Alan?
Hello, John.
Don't get up. You look too comfortable.
Well, they're my friends Peter Davis and Joe Dixon come and run across the marshes of Glen after a hard day's fishing and singing as they come.
They're singing, and what they're working at seems to be inseparable.
Yes, it's an old continuity, this work song business along this coast. 250 years anyway. And of course it goes back to Africa, the continent of work songs to begin with. Africa has some problems, the heat, the jungle, the long distances, and the people of Africa have worked out a system of communal work groups that have solved their problem for them. And the spark in these groups is provided by the work song leaders. They have songs for every kind of work, including arguing law cases.
Electrocution by lyric?
No, not quite that, I guess. Not head chopping by rhythm. But they brought this tradition with them when they came here as slaves, and I suspect that it was these songs that gave them the heart, more than anything else, to endure the hard labor they had here under the hot southern sun.
Slapping these horseflies.
Yeah. 14 hours a day under the driver's whip. They kept alive by these songs. I asked an old man once why they sang, and he said, well, I'll tell you, boss, you start singing right after breakfast, and when you look around, it's dinner time. The songs took their mind off the rigors of their labor, the hot sun and the oppression that they sometimes endured.
How many kinds of work songs are there in this part of the country?
Well, across the South, you could name a dozen or 20 types. But the kind of songs that are most important here are the sea shanties. In fact, this coast gave many shanties to the clipper ship days. And in a moment, you're going to hear one of them as they pull the boat up on the bank.
Join the band, come join the band. Already join the band, come along, come join the band. Already join the band, come along, come join the band. Already join the band, come join the band. Already join the band, come along, join the band. Already join the band.
Well,
There's going to be some fish fry tonight.
Yeah, you're at a real Georgia fish fry, and I'd like you to meet one of the people, one of the principal singers here.
I'd like to.
Bessie, come here just a moment. Mrs. Jones, this is John Chiardi.
How do you do, Mrs. Jones?
you?
Bessie
Very
Jones
glad to meet
is
Glad to meet you.
one of the people who really knows the old songs here. Bessie, what's going to happen next?
The fish fry, we have a buzzard loaf next on
The buzzard loaf.
Buzzard loaf.
Well, let's see it in a moment. John, this buzzard loaf is really a fascinating thing. It's probably the oldest surviving African dance on the continent. In the dance, the principal solo dancer leaps out into the singing circle and mimes the action of a buzzard after carrion. You'll see it all in a moment. But the exciting thing about this dance is the text, probably. The text says, "Throw me anywhere, Lord, in that old field. I don't care where you throw me in that old field." It's a poem right out of the heart of the oppressed slave. He's saying, I'm just to you as a piece of carrion, but I'll survive somehow. And as Bessie has told me, her ancestors told her grandparents told her that when they sang this song, they identified themselves with Jesus, who was buried in the field.
Thrown in the field. And,
yes.
And the buzzard is a kind of a rival of judgment. I'd like to see this.
Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. You make people bang me. And King Jesus save me. Don't care how you treat me. And King Jesus meet me. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Don't care how you do me. And King Jesus choose me. Don't care how you treat me. And King Jesus meet me. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord. Throw me anywhere, Lord.
And off goes the buzzard.
Yes, Johnny, they see the most primitive dance probably on this continent, except among American Indians.
Are all the dances African in origin here?
Well, really, of course, they are. But this one, with its typical African circle, the singing leader, and the dancer involved with his whole body and dramatizing, this is really Africa transported to America. Now, in these dances, you can see the origin of the things that came later in the minstrel show, the Negro reel, the ragtime, jazz, and on up to the twist. You can see those elements, but in a cruder form, because these country people still have the agility to dance to this polymeter that you saw them clapping.
Remarkable stuff.
But many of the dances, of course, are strongly influenced by European origins. For instance, these children over here, they're dancing an old English circle game that probably goes back to Christian times, but with the kind of verve that is typically Southern Negro.
That made some changes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
I know what's college, I know what's school. But when I went to see my gun, know I was fool. To the front, to the back.
Is this satire?
Unconscious satire. The way children change the things that the teachers try to teach them. Their imagination's going to win out every time.
Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle, Yankee Doodle, keep it up. And good the girls be behind him. I know what's college, I know what's school. I know what's see my dog, I know what's school. To the front, to the back, to the side, side, side. So I ain't got no respect for all she had done. All right.
One of the great things about children's game is the remarkable compression of them. This is a sort of a drama of feminine life. Little girl's been spanked or reproached by society. She rises, wiping her eyes and goes to seek her true love.
Uh-huh. I remember some changes made.
Yes, there's a southern touch in that, all right.
That's fun.
It's the kind of thing that in the slave days, the adults used to play. A real courtship game. And John, don't you think that down here in this part of the world, people didn't actually choose their mates by dancing?
Where you been? All around the world and back again.
This is another piece of Africa.
A
Complex polyrhythm, beaten out on thighs and breasts.
Hambo, where you been? Nowhere, 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 nowhere.
See him use his mouth as a drum.
I just say that's a mixture of African and European.
Yes, it's typical of Southern folk culture. Down here, the peoples from Africa and from Europe have been swapping songs and stories and ways of dancing for 200 or 300 years. For instance, jazz in New Orleans is a blend of Africa and French and Spanish influences. But down here in Georgia, you run into the roots of the whole thing. On this isolated island here, you find still alive the kind of thing that was happening in old Virginia 2 or 3 centuries ago. When the Negro slaves encountered the English, Scotch, and Irish reels, they fell in love with those tunes and that way of dancing. They quickly picked them up and adapted them to their own way of doing things. We know from the records at Williamsburg, for instance, that by 1700, there were already Negro fiddlers playing for the Hunt Balls who were so expert that their white masters just couldn't do without them.
Good heavens.
Was
there any satire in their playing?
Well, I think there was a lot of satire. Yes, there was. And they unconsciously exaggerated the gestures of their masters in moving through the dances. And they made these dances their own. They put a kind of a rant into the tunes that wasn't there before. And pretty soon you had them swinging in things like the Virginia reels and teaching their masters how to do the Virginia reel, really.
I'm going away. I'm going away. Way down yonder old cornfield. I say, Poppy on my heel. Pop my whoop, I run my bed. Turn my head in the horn and then. I'm going away.
Fun is more fun when the pictures you take are finished in just 10 seconds. Isn't it time your family had a Polaroid land camera?
blues go back, like the Mississippi, to the beginnings of American life in a way. Nobody knows just where the first blues began. Perhaps it was with a lonely levee camp worker driving his mule in the heat and singing about the inequities of his life and the iniquities of his white captain who drove him too hard for too little pay. But once the blues got going, it became the dance form of dispossessed Negroes who were then moving into the city, into the small towns, looking for work and not always finding it. Families breaking up, children going without fathers, and people going without love.
Tell me, mama, tell me all I know. Tell me, mama.
That's the blues. You say then that it began as a wail and ended up as a dance?
No, really, it was always a dance for the Negroes. It was their way of handling the Western European ballroom dance form. Before that, they had danced in circles, or the country dance form that we've already seen in this show. But when they adopted the country dance, they sang the blues. So the blues have these two sides: the pleasures of sex, the pleasures of life, pouring out melancholy and enjoying the pouring out, and it's become the big song for the whole world now.
Go to sleep, baby. All them horses and that love. Go to sleep, baby. Don't you hear them horses trot? Go to sleep, baby. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to Boogerman kiss you. Mama went away. She told me to stay and take good care of this baby. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep and little baby. Mama told me to sleep and take good care of it, baby. How long will give me my crown? How long when I look all around? How long all around me shine? How long I'm gonna feel happy? How long I made it in time? How long well before this time another year? I'm going a little further. How long shake hand with another? How long wanna go a little further? How long wanna talk to my brother? How long wanna talk with the father? How long wanna talk with the son? How long tell them about the world? How long I just come from? How long now before this time another year? How many more? It's coming on from graveyard. Oh Lord, how
In the old-time Negro Baptist church service, after they'd sung one or two spirituals, there would be a moment of silence, and out of the silence there would rise one of the hymns, a hymn that had come down from the time of Luther, transmuted by the beauty of the Negro's voice into something quite new and magic and strange. And over this strange humming sound, one of the old deacons would begin to ask for deliverance from sin in a direct appeal to the Lord.
Our Father, we come before thee this evening as an empty picture before a full fountain, praying that thou would fill us up with thy mighty love from on high. And again we come before thee, Jesus, as empty chaff before the driving wind, asking thee, Jesus, to hold us with thine powerful hand. Father, I want you to keep us safe under thine kind hands of love. And Jesus said, when it comes down to our time to die, I want you to meet us at the river of Jordan. And should old Jordan be rough, Father, I pray that thou would bid Jordan to be calm, so that we can cross over in a calm time and live with thee forever and ever. Amen.
This is John Davis, the leader of this folk community, leading his group in one of the old-time slavery shops of this area. The words say, bright stars shining in glory, give me Jesus in the morning. Jesus been down in the mire, you can go down in the mire. Jesus calls you in the mire. So bend down in the mire, bend down lower and lower. Then you can rise up in the mire. And so John brings each convert into the circle, makes them go down as Jesus went down into the mire of the world, and brings them up into the shining glory of salvation. John, you've just heard a little bit of the music. Come back and stay longer next time.
Alan, I'd like to. I know how much this music and these dances have meant to you for many years. Thank you for taking us into your love.
It's wonderful. Thank you, John.
Goodbye.
Here off the coast of Georgia, we have seen how an African culture has survived to shape some of the patterns of contemporary life. This is John Chardy. Thank you for being with us this week on Accent.
The tides of human emotion surge ever stronger as the secret storm reaches a new milestone.
You say you don't believe those ugly accusations against Nick and me, but you do, don't you, Peter?
You see him all you like, Myra. And you go right on insisting that he's not the reason our marriage is falling apart. Just be careful you don't do anything to embarrass me or any member of my family.
Just what do you expect me to do?
Deny the rumors, Myra. Just make a simple statement that there's nothing between you and Nick and couldn't possibly be.
You tell me, Myra. Is Nick the reason that you and Daddy can't make up? Is he what's stopping you?
Myra, are you sure you're not trying to hide the plain, obvious truth from me and from yourself?
These are some of the characters who make The Secret Storm one of TV's most popular dramas. Personalities you'll have a chance to get to know more intimately starting Monday, June 18th. when the Secret Storm becomes a half-hour visitor every weekday on most of these stations.
Carrie Bell, don't weep. Carrie Bell, don't mourn. Don't you hang your head and cry. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Oh, no. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. Oh, no. I'm gonna tell to every sad I live in a barroom door, and I'll never get drunk no more. I ain't gonna hurt no.
It's all right.
The Black Encyclopedia of the Air brings you the background on black history, black achievement, and black culture.
Go to sleep in love, baby.
Everybody knows black people as warm, affectionate, hospitable, and family-minded. Science tells us this is because of the relationship between black mothers and their children. Black African women don't leave their babies to cry. They pick them up. They hold them close and warm. They breastfeed them. They give them body warmth. They rock them and they sing to them. You can hear that black, nurturing feeling in their lullabies, like this one from the Georgia coast.
Go to sleep in love, baby.
And this one from the West Indies.
Awesome to baby till mommy come. Bring cake and sugar plum, give baby some.
And this lullaby from North Rhodesia.
Mwana 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 wachichakulira wando cholanda.
Black lullabies, black mother love. Another link in the unbreakable chain of black history. Another page from the Black Encyclopedia of the Air.
Baby, feel so good now. Baby, feel so good.
If you want to, please your captain, sink 'em low, boy, raise 'em high. Sink 'em low, boy, sink 'em low, sink 'em low, boy, raise 'em high. I asked the judge what may be my fine, boy. He said, if I don't hang you, I'll give you 99. I'll give you 99. I'll give you 99. He said, if I don't hang you, I'll give you 99. I asked my captain, has said the morning come, boy. He said it makes no difference. I don't owe you none. I don't owe you none, boy. I don't owe you none. He said it makes no difference. I don't owe you none. But if I can just make it through January and February, I march on through, boys. I march on through. I thought I heard old Big Leg Lula calling me, boy. She calling me. Say, come back home, boy. Say, come back home, boy. I heard Big Leg Lula calling me when I asked that captain what time of day, boy. He was so hard-hearted, he just walked away.
I don't want no captain like that.
When it was time to add my son to our car insurance, I was scared to even think about my wallet.
Oh, Moses, Moses, don't get lost.
In the Red Sea.
March on and come across.
Oh, in the Red Sea.
Oh, Moses, Moses, don't get lost.
Oh, in the Red Sea.
March on and come across.
In the Red Sea.
Let's just talk about the Most High. Let's talk about the Most High. Let's just talk about the Most High. Let's talk about the Most High. Ain't no Pharaoh in the Most High. Pharaoh in the Most High. Ain't no Pharaoh in the Most High. Pharaoh in the Most High. Oh, Moses, Moses, don't get lost. March your Lord and come across. Stop and talk about the Most High. Talk about the Most High. Stop and talk about the Most High. Most High. Ain't no Pharaoh in the Most High. Pharaoh in the Most High. Oh, Moses, Moses, don't get lost. March your Lord and come across. Stop and talk about the Most High. Talk about the Most High. Stop, let's talk about the Most High. Talk about the Most High. Ain't no Pharaoh in the Most High. No Pharaoh in the Most High. Ain't no Pharaoh in the Most High. Pharaoh in the Most High. Hey, Moses, Moses, don't get lost. March your Lord and come across. Stop now, talk about the Most High. Talk about the Most High. Stop, let's talk about the Most High. Talk about the Most High.
When would they sing this festival? That's Christmas time. Christmas and same for New Year.
Yes, when they can see daybreaking.
Watch night.
New Year's Eve.
Watch night song.
Just before they break it down for New Year's
That's
Eve.
right. That's right.
Just whenever they can see the daylight,
And they look out.
the sunrise, for New Year's morning.
That's I know. They shout it all night. Pray. Oh, day, yonder come day. Oh, day, yonder come day. Oh, day, yonder come day. Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day. Oh, come on, day, yonder come day. Come on, day, yonder come day. Oh, come on, day, yonder come day. Day done broke into my soul. Yonder come day. Dying day, yonder come day. Yonder come day, dying day, yonder come day, it done broke into my soul. Yonder come day, yonder come day, New Year's Day, yonder come day, New Year's Day, yonder come day, it done broke into my soul. Yonder come day, come on day, yonder come day, come on day, yonder come day, come on day, yonder come day. It done broken in my soul. Yonder come day, dying day. Yonder come day, dying day. Yonder come day, dying day. Yonder come day. It done broken in my soul. Yonder come day, beer and day. Yonder come day, beer and day. Yonder come day, beer and day. Yonder come day. It done broken. Down here, there is no hiding place down here. Where you run to the rock to hide your face, rock crowd, no hiding place down here, down here. Down here, Lord, there's no hiding place down here. Where you run to the rock to hide your face, the rock crowd, there's no hiding place down here. Son of man, you better run. Oh, son of man, you better run. Oh, son of man, you better run. Wake up some morning, judgment's coming. There's no hiding place down here, down here. Oh, down here. Lord, there's no hiding place down here. You may run to the rock to hide your face, rock crowd. No hiding place down here. Run to the sea, and the sea cry out. You run to the mountain, and the mountain cry. You run to the ocean say, Lord, there's no hiding place down here, down here. Oh, down here, Lord, there's no hiding place down here. You may run to the rock, hide your face, rock crowd, no hiding place down here. Gambling man, you better run. Oh, gambling man, you'd better run. Oh, gambling man, you better run. Wake up some morning, judgment is coming. No hiding place down here, down here. Oh, down here. No, there's no hiding place down here. You may run to the rock to hide your face, rock crowd. No hiding place down here.
KT Tape increases blood flow to help reduce pain. Because you can either give up or you can tape up.
Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe. A bridge is torn, I got no patch. Diamond Joe, you better come at me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe. I'm out of dough, I got no clothes. Wanna go home, but I can't go. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe, I'm down here on that hall. Diamond Joe, you better come on. Diamond Joe, you better come and get me. Diamond Joe. You better mind how you walk. You better mind what you're walking about, 'cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Oh, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. You better mind how you sing. You better mind what you're singing about, or you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Lord, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, you're going around here from door to door. You're talking about the things that you really don't know, but you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Then you're going around here from place to place. The way you're living is really disgrace, but you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Sing it, you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Lord, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Before that preacher baptize you, you know what you promised God you do. Now you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Oh, you better mind. Yes, you better mind. Lord, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, you get in the field and you don't want to fight. You join the church, but you won't live right. But you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Sing it, you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Lord, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, and you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yes, you look at me with a finger scorn. My God, see you, that's to show you're born. And you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. You can talk about me just as much as you please. The more you talk, I'm gonna bend my knees because you're gonna give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Let's sing it, you better mind. Oh, you better mind. Lord, you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind. Now, if your sister treat you wrong, take it to yourself and God alone, because you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind.
Ever since my dermatologist recommended you drink Radiant Tone, I'm kind of obsessed with the results. I just keep getting better.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Now that was all of the Georgia Sea Islands right there. You know, kind of giving some origins of some Negro folk songs, what they were still singing. I think they recorded that in 1960, 1961, 1959. Those songs right there. So shout out to the Georgia Sea Islands. The people out there, that was some good information right there. Because they say it go back to the beginning as far as when America was, as far as the foundation of America. So, you know, within there, just like I say, we are hearing verses, choruses, even though we are coming up with those songs, we are creating those words. But I guess it's like the man said, it's a blend of African culture and European culture mixed. So now what we first to get into right here, but going back to that Georgia Sea Islands, you know, that's supposed to be one of the, you know, because we're going to get into the blues. You know, we're going to travel through different little states and stuff like that. I'll try to stay within Georgia with it, but just like I say with the first video, I wanted to show the fiddle play. I wanted to show the old school black man playing the fiddle, which is like I say, once black people was enslaved, they took the drum away from us over here in the gathering and the party away from us because they thought that we was calling war. So then we end up getting their instruments, end up learning their songs, and we end up being creative from their songs and creating our own sound and we're creating our own songs, remixing their songs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to prove. Not saying that my people ain't got no style. We ain't got no, that we ain't got no originality of nothing like that. We definitely foundation over here within America with the sound, just like how, excuse me, the minstrel turned into popular culture through the mockery of Black people. So with the sound, with that Negro folk sound, it's giving us a little bit of an origin of what the Black people of how the Black people was probably sounding within the 1800s and stuff like that. So now what we first to listen to right now, we're going into Alabama. So we first to listen to some Billy Goat Latin. So we first to listen to Latin. This is called Billy Goat Latin. We're going to listen to two examples. We got the performer of Richard Emerson and Joe Fred Williams. And it's recorded at the home of Ruby Pickens Tart in Livingston, Alabama, July 19th, 1937. So this is recorded July 19th, 1937 at Ruby Pickens Tart House in Livingston, Alabama, and it's performed by Rich Emerson, Emerson and Joe Fred Williams. And this is Billy Goat Latin.
These two examples of goat language were given at Livingston, Alabama, July the 19th, 1937, in the home of Mrs. Ruby Pickens Tart. The first example being given by Richard Amerson, and the second example by Joe Fred Williams. This record having been made for the benefit of the Library of Congress in Washington. I'll play it for you.
So right there, we got Pig Latin. So it brings me into question, was this how black people was doing their chorus and verse? As you see, it's a sound, it's rhythmic, but is it rhyming every last syllable or phrase or line, telling a story within that same stanza, or that same song, or that same phrase, or that same bar? Whenever you're hearing the Pig Latin, now that's my first time hearing Pig Latin, but I'm still going off the rhythm. I'm still going off, the rhyming of the words. The sound was kind of repetitive. But it just wasn't just like the last sound was rhyming, type stuff. Like fun, run, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But that was definitely interesting because it's like I said, that bring me into question as far as like, okay, is this a style within America that was lost? Is this a style within Africa that was lost, within the people that was brought over here within, that's black people culture, this Pig Latin? But I thought that was very interesting. That was 1937. Billy Goat Latin. I said Pig Latin. I'm tripping. That's not Pig Latin. That's not Pig Latin. I'm tripping. It's Billy Goat Latin. Billy Goat Latin. I'm tripping. I was saying Pig Latin. It's not Pig Latin. It's Billy Goat Latin.
Oh, Joe, oh, what you reckon? Oh, the calendar.
Okay, my bad. And give you the preview of where we coming from. So I think that we still in. I think that we still in Alabama. Let me just double check real quick so you can kind of know what's going on. So this is in 1939. So this is in May 26, 1939. You got Doc Reed, Jesse Allison, Vera Ward Hall sing Job. So you got Reed is seated. You got Allison appeared in the first photo. You got John, and you got Hall appears in the second photo. And this was recorded again at Ruby Pickens Tart home in Livingston, Alabama, May 26, 1939.
Oh, Joe, oh, what you reckon?
Let me bring it back to the beginning.
Oh, Joe, oh, what you reckon? Oh, the calendar. Oh, Joe, oh, what you reckon? Oh, it's gonna do. Just listen at Joe. Oh, Joe said. Oh, blessed be the name of the Lord. And the Lord he give it, and the Lord take away. And blessed be the name of the Lord. Oh, Ramadan, Oh, I pray to God to stop the storm. And so Dr. Ed right on the line. And the battle was clouded and 7 times. Lord, I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven in the morning. Oh, swing, Lord, chariot, swing, Lord, chariot, swing, Lord, chariot in the morning. Oh, weep on Mary, weep on Mary, weep on Mary in the morning. Oh, mourn on Martha, mourn on Martha, oh, mourn on Martha in the morning. Oh, rock my child, rock my child, oh, rock my child in the morning.
Out here, not every exit's worth it, but this one is. Pull over for some juicy chicken tenders, seasoned potato wedges, and an ice cold Dr. Pepper, all for just $8. Pilot and Flying J. See you out here.
Play solo, after work, at your own pace. No stress. World of Warships is naval combat without pressure.
Too much morning.
So it's a couple of things I wanted to bring in also. Some of the prison songs. This right here is going back to 1933. And we at the Durrington State Prison Forum at Sandy Point, Texas, December 1933. So this is December 1933 at the Durrington State Prison Forum at Sandy Point, Texas. And this is December 1933.
Too much morning. Out of my heart, no, no. I went to the bottom. Good God Almighty. I went to the bottom. Out of my heart, no, no. With a big pound diamond. Good God Almighty. With a big pound diamond. Ah, Lord, no. Lot of captain riding, good God Almighty. Lot of captain riding, I Lord, no. Oh, Captain, won't you help me? Good God Almighty. Oh, Captain, won't you help me? I Lord, no. I'm down in trouble, good God Almighty. I'm down in trouble. I know, no. I don't want to see Julie. Good God Almighty. I don't want to see Julie. I know that. Now Julie and the baby. Good God Almighty. Now Julie and the baby. I know, no. Well, go get the sergeant. Good God Almighty. Now go get the sergeant. I know, no. Well, put him by radar. Good God Almighty. Well, they put him by radar. I know. And across Big Brother. Good God Almighty. And across Big Brother. I know, no. These are words by the daddy. Good God Almighty. These are words by the daddy. Almighty God, no, no. I'm down in trouble. Good God Almighty. I'm down in trouble. Almighty God, no, no. Ain't got nobody. Good God Almighty. Ain't got nobody. Almighty, no, no.
Hertz sells cars.
So that last one was 1933. Now we in 1934 with it. Shout out to Robert Lee Ford. Come through drop top Honda Accord.
Captain go to riding. When the captain go to riding. When the captain go to riding. Lord God Almighty. When the captain go to riding. When the captain go to riding. When the captain go to riding. The long summer day. When it's pulling Jack a diamond. When they're pulling Jack a diamond. When they're pulling Jack a diamond. Lord God Almighty. When they're pulling Jack a diamond. When they're pulling Jack a diamond. When they're pulling Jack a diamond. The long summer day. And the bullets go to swapping. When the bullets go to swapping. When the bullet go to throbbing, Lord Almighty. When the bullet go to throbbing, when the bullet go to throbbing, when the bullet go to throbbing in the long summer day. Oh, how to go to beaming, and how to go to beaming, oh, how to go to beaming. Lord God Almighty, when the Hannah go to beaming, when the Hannah go to beaming, when the Hannah go to beaming in the long summer day, and the sergeant go to scheming, when the sergeant go to scheming, when the sergeant go to scheming, Lord God Almighty. When the sergeant go to scheming, when the sergeant go to scheming, when the sergeant go to scheming in the long summer day. When the rider go to howling, when the rider go to howling, when the rider go to howling, Lord God Almighty. When the rider go to howling. Well, I'd rather go to howling. Well, I'd rather go to howling in the long summer days. But it don't get worried. But it don't get worried. But it don't get worried. Lord God Almighty. But it don't get worried. But it don't get worried. Well, it don't get worried in them long summer days. Just to keep on hanging. Just to keep on hanging. Just to keep on hanging. Lord God Almighty. Just to keep on hanging. Just to keep on hanging. Just to keep on hanging in them long summer days.
It's odd. If something's free, people just can't resist it. More baffling is that people turn down free money by not switching to Geico.
So we're going back to 1933 with it. We still down in Sandy Point, Texas at the Darrington State Farm. With a group of Negro convicts.
Moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. It was the year of 1912 on April the 13th day, when the great Titanic was sinking down. Well, the people had to run and pray. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. When the great Titanic was sinking down, well, it threw lifeboats around, crying, see the women and the children, that let the men go down. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. When the lifeboat got to the land and the women turned around, crying, look way across that ocean, Lordy, as my husband found. God moves down the water, God moves down the water, God moves on the water, Lord, and the people that run and pray. That Captain Smith was lying down, was asleep, for he was tired. Well, he woke up in a great fright as a many gunshot was fired. God moves down the water, God moves down the water, God moves on the water, and the people that run and pray. But that Jacob Nash, he was a millionaire, Lord, and plenty money to spare. When the great Titanic was sinking down, well, he could not pay his fare. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. Well, the sun stood still and refused to shine, Lord. Solace and heaven for us space of time. The rocks did work, I never really could win, and my Father forgive thy sins for me. And God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. Oh, while I take him a Jesus, while I laid him away, Lord, he up on the mountain called a Calvary. The ripple his feet by, the rattle his hands by, the trouble God people in Jerusalem. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. Yeah, wrestling with a seawall to keep the waters down. But the high top of that ocean, Lord, put the water all over the town. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. Oh, while they taking my Jesus down from the cross, they wrapped him up in fine linen cloth. A nature suspended as 3 o'clock at the foot of that cross was a gambling plot. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. From that Peter to James, there's John, Sally Weed. Mary Magdalena, a sister alone, while I wanna hoop a roller with a stumbling stone. God moves on the water, God moves on the water, God moves on the water, and the people had to run and pray. If anybody should ask you who composed this song, well, Bullet and Dave Tiffin and Linus Miller above, and Dick Woodkin didn't compose it wrong.
Live life, never bugged with Stem's multi-insect spray.
Demi with the shimmy, what it do, what it do. Now this one right here, we're going to 1936, and this is the Negro women prison. This is the Negro women prison singing now. Now we in Parchman, Mississippi. So we was in Sandy Point, Texas. Now we in Parchman, Mississippi at the Negro women prison. No More Trouble. That's the song. Man, that was a good song right there. That last one was at a women's prison in Parchman, Mississippi, 1936. Now we at the men's, the Negro convicts in Parchman, Mississippi. And man, it kind of take me, they kind of harmony with it. They kind of harmonizing with it. It kind of almost take me to Bone Thugs and Harmony almost in a sense.
I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I know I've been converted. I shall not be moved. I know I've been converted. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. Glory, hallelujah. I shall not be moved. Glory, hallelujah. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I'm Jacob ladder. I shall not be moved. I'm Jacob ladder. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. That welcome people. I shall not be moved. That welcome people. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. Jesus is our captain. I shall not be moved. Jesus is our captain. I shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved.
Man. So as we can hear the sound of the work songs, the penitentiary songs, this is back in the 1930s. Women and men. We had, the last two was in Mississippi, and the first four was in Texas. As you can hear the influence of the European structure of the songs, of the verse and choruses. even though that it's black people creating the verses and choruses, but it always have a foundation. We went to the Georgia Sea Islands and got to hear some Negro folk songs, some dances in the church. That was 1959, 1960, 1961. We also heard some of their songs in the Georgia Sea Islands. Some of the first sounds of Black American music. It could be passed down. It could be, well, the man said, if you go back to the 30-minute video, the man did say that it was a blend of African and European coming together and kind of bringing one. But just like I say, it's kind of hard for me to say that we are the originators of that style if they say that they did take our drums and our way of turning up was banned and outlawed. And that's why I showed the fiddle for that first video and him playing that one instrument. I forgot what that's called, but it's one of them Irish instruments where they be wearing the kilts. Nah, it wasn't no bagpipe. I'm tripping, but it was almost like a little bagpipe, a little piano thing. It can kind of go in and out. I don't know what's it called, but that's why I showed that first video. Then I came back and showed the bully, where you had in Georgia and Frederica, in Frederica, Georgia, 1935, where you had last name Tatnall, and he had a Georgia, and he had a bully song coming. I'm looking for that bully in that town, and just like I say, that bully go back to, and it's funny that I end up finding that because that bully end up going back, just like I say, to 1895. When the first bully song, one of the first gangster, but aggressive, violent black character that was portrayed within popular culture. And then 40 years later, we got Black Americans singing verses and choruses talking about the bully. Then we went into the Georgia Sea Islands, getting those Negro folk songs, those dances, and just kind of just getting a feel of their music, their style of entertainment at the time, dealing with music and singing and expressing themselves and stuff like that. And it's interesting. It's definitely something to be studied. And just like the man said, he don't even know when it's the origin of blues. You know, some people say it's Mississippi. We gonna look into that, but as we was just in Georgia, listening to that old sound, that old Negro folk sound in Georgia, we know it's a sound. You know what I'm saying? We know that but they was doing something. You know, they was expressing themselves. They was making music. We're just trying to see, do it go back further with that group of black people with that same type of style, or is it something that we end up picking up as being with these Western Europeans? So I wanted to, but that's kind of the end for the night though. But we're gonna end it on a good note. And just like I said, it kind of took me to Mo Thugs. You know what I'm saying? Just that sound of the harmony and stuff like that. As far as Bone Thugs and stuff like that. So we're gonna end it on a good note with some Black American music, going up to Cleveland, Ohio with it. Mo Thugs. And I'm gonna end it on some of that V note, you hear me? But this is definitely part 2, a good some good examples of some early Black entertainment, Black sound in America, in the Georgia Sea Islands, and in the early penitentiaries in Texas and in Mississippi. On part 3, I'm going to take it down to New Orleans, and we're going to look at some of the New Orleans, and then we're going to bring it up to Mississippi on part 4. So be on the lookout for that part 3 and part 4, but make sure that you're pulled up and rolled up. You know I'm glad that you showed up. To comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again.
Hey, get up, baby. Get up. I already hear you. Get up. It's Ken. You got something to do, baby. Get up. Get up. Get up. What's up, dog? You got something to do, man. We'll be late for this concert, man. Get up, man. Man, just give me 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes.
We got the guns and ship the sauce, and we are monsters. After my 2, 2, and 3, and we are Mondo. King, dog, and soldier, and we are Mondo. And we are wanna be soldier, I done told ya, motherfuckers taking over.
Situations even though it seems there haters everywhere, but that's an everyday thing. So I continue to stack my green, I mean.
But I love it, I'm above it. Can you feel love? Motherfuckers, workers, bandit, they're the
That the crazy bone who says that be having much love for your rich on. Got faith in God, can't go wrong. Gotta hold on, it's strong, giving a pop to the devil God. Cause the way we kick it, it just won't stop. More than always making shot.
If we party, hook up with somebody, we having a party. We have to be pass out until it be over. I'll be up, so come on over. We doing this every day, get us all day. So follow me if you wanna feel the love. Look, we having a hell of a party. Parlay, parlay, hey, this could be another wonderful day. But they maintain, more look at the same thing. If we got the pops, we'll cook the block, baby. Without the shots, we can't stop. Once you receive her, everything you see is swisher, sweeter, creeper. Won't you look in the sky with me? Come on, get on with me. And you can see it's only real when you ride with me.
We are having a party. We are having a party. We are having a party.
The devotion. Blessing all the children. God bless all the children. We got it all for you. Free spoken thugs in motion.
Keep feeling my magic, letting you have it. Come on with the automatic weapon status. All of my thugs here for your safety. Everybody be glad they had us, cause we so thuggish, ruggish, and yo, we're good, humble people. On the grind to teach the world to be a thug in harmony, so peaceful. And I know I can reach those blowing this instrumental wide open, making examples out of we soldiers, giving you the real thirst of devotion, bringing my city with me, payment. Every day it's going down. Anytime I stay, come around my way, hit a beat to the thugger sound. With all of my peoples on their feet, now can I get it more? We never come weak, we always strong, that's how we roll, that's how we roll. Smokers in the air, players from everywhere, staying true to the game, riding real as well as prepared. Got my mind focused on this whole Mo Thug staff, how we dip and dab, lay a path and then stab. That's how it be everyday routine. Play it, grab your green, make them complete before you hit the scene. You know what I mean, know what I just pop the love for it. All the way around Mo Thug, putting it down, coming from the C-Town, round up your soldiers, cause it just don't stop. It's all about Mo Thug, all the way to the top.
Rolling with Mo, so get out, get up, get up, happy. Rolling with Mo, so get out, get up, get up, happy. This is all Mo Thug.
that bring back memories right there, man. But it's just kind of crazy to kind of look at. In Georgia, they was having their fish fry. They was kicking it, doing their thing. The men and women take it to the men and women in the prison doing their songs and shit like that. Got a group in the 1990s, men and women doing songs. You know, niggas and came a long way over here, man, in America, man, in the history of the black people in America, man. It goes deep, man. It goes deep, and I wish niggas really can find that connection to Africa with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's looking like it. It's looking like it, man. Cause when we looking at this game of doing music and shit, man. If they really stripped us from our drums and from our style, because it was a warrior type style, to we done kind of took over and mastered this type of style of dealing with sound and entertainment and expressing ourselves. Even though we still have it done got vicious music and stuff like that, gangster music and stuff like that. But as you see, it was more of a group thing. Even though you had, certain people kind of standing out, the leader of the pack, the leader of the group and stuff like that. But it was still everybody participating, everybody involved. It's a group effort, not just certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole group effort. So, man, I'm going to keep on bringing some more little information, man, until we get done with all the parts. Is did white people create rap music? And it's crazy. It's crazy because it's an origin, you know what I'm saying? I just look at the origin and I try to find out where is the origin at. But, I do see the creativity within my people, within black people. Them is my peoples. I do see the creativity. I do see myself within these black people expressing themselves and stuff like that. I do wish that I knew that culture, that I grew up with that culture. But the culture that I grew up in is an American style culture 2.0, Americanized. And the more and more I'm finding out with the history that the black culture, that the black people culture was taken from them, and we have conformed to the American culture. And it's kind of sad because our culture is lost. And I'm thinking I'm seeing a little bit of it through these videos, some of our culture and stuff like that. And a nigga gotta have some connection somewhere, you know what I'm saying? It can't be to the woods, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't got nothing against the woods, but it can't be to the woods. We gotta have a deeper culture of black, even if it's going back to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gotta find that before a nigga go and get locked in on it. That's a fact. But we gonna end it on the good note with some of that V Note the Most. You know how I'm gonna do it. Start playing my little shit at the end. And just gonna go back and go get some of that good game that a nigga did come with. Cause like I say, it's all about the history. I'm gonna keep it real. And we're gonna keep on looking at it. Make sure you stay pulled up and rolled up. I'm glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again.
Black Bros.
Pass the reaper to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane. Pass the reaper to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane, yeah. Broke up with Molly, cause Mary Jane is my main thing. Yeah, I love her, she my boo thing. She my boo thing. Yup. I'ma ride and smoke just like a choo-choo train. I can hide when I want, like I own a private plane. I'm jumping out, parachute fly. When you roll good smoke, I am that guy. Like Russell Westbrook, I'm a point with O's. An exotic chronic to excel at your nose. And every day at 420. 365, I'ma keep one roll. To put the lights to the reaper. If you get a KD, then it's a lot cheaper. Every Friday tweet, you see me on my beeper. And say, what you smoking on? Like that big Felicia. She know I got that creeper. So gon' puff and pass the reefer. Now we amped up like a car speaker. Ride with that Keisha. Yup, she's a keeper. Pass the reefer to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane. Pass the reefer to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane.
Been blowing on some good that I got from the hood, from my African neighborhood. 9-0, I got me 9-0, got me a track to fine hoes. Cause all day they wanna smoke on something that's gonna make them choke. Then I poke while they poke it out. If you tell you know what I'm talking about. When I smoke them out. Got the groupies walking out my house. On stumble, from the crumble. Weed on my briefcase. If it got seeds, get it out my face. Giving me it, leave a bad taste. So I got to roll up another. Pass it to my African brother. Yeah, the African gon' make them stutter. Yeah, we on the greens, but we ain't got butter. Blowing hard, yes, the green crack. On my boulevard, you can find that. Being 50, get a dime sack. Show you some love if you come back.
Pass the reaper to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane. Pass the reaper to the left-hand side. I'm so bold, you can see it in my eyes. I'm high as an airplane, smoking, switching from lane to lane. Me and Miss Mary Jane, me and Miss Mary Jane.